The problem is employers aren't treating women fairly. That needs to be changed, and I'll change it when I'm President of the United States of America. That's why I stood up for equal pay in Illinois' state Senate and helped pass a law that, to give 330,000 more women protection from paycheck discrimination. That's why I've been fighting to pass legislation in the Senate so that employers don't get away with shortchanging women workers. That's why I'll continue to stand up for equal pay as president. And Senator McCain won't, and that is a real difference in this election. As the son, grandson, and husband of hard-working mothers, I also don't accept an America that makes women choose between their children and their careers. It's unacceptable that women are denied jobs or promotions because they've got kids at home. It's unacceptable that 22 million working women don't have a single paid sick day. It's unacceptable that millions of working mothers could actually be fired for taking maternity leave, and that 78% of workers who have family leave can't afford to take it because it's not paid. No matter what you do for a living, I think we can all agree that raising our children and caring for our loved ones is the most important job that we have. And it's time we started making that job a little bit easier, especially for working women. That means giving folks a hand with child care, from expanding the child care tax credit to an additional 7.5 million working moms. It means providing after-school and summer learning opportunities for an additional 3 million children. It means investing $10 billion to give early childhood education to every child that needs it so that we can close the achievement gap. It means dramatically expanding family and medical leave to reach millions of additional workers. And I'll ensure that it doesn't just cover staying at home with a new baby, but also lets you take leave to care for elderly parents or participate in school activities like parent-teacher conferences and assemblies. It means standing up for paid leave. So I'll invest $1.5 billion to help create a paid leave system across America. And I'll require employers to provide all of their workers at least 7 days of paid sick leave a year. You know, people, if you're sick, you should be able to get a day off and look after your children when they get sick. That's a difference in this election. Finally, we have to do more to help people at the bottom of the economic ladder climb into the middle. So many working women today are living right on the edge. I met a woman a few weeks ago in New Mexico who told me she worked 2 jobs, at a restaurant and at a hair salon. But the last time she went to see a doctor, and this is a relatively young woman, my guess was she was around 30, or late 20s. Last time she saw a doctor was 10 years ago because she didn't have insurance and she couldn't afford an appointment. She later said, "This is a pretty hard life. I just want to figure out how we get out of this box." When you're working that hard, when you're working 2 jobs, you shouldn't be in a box. Life shouldn't be that hard. You shouldn't feel trapped. And that's why, while Senator McCain wants to continue the Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans who don't need them and didn't even ask for them, despite the fact that he wants to give $100 billion in additional tax cuts to corporations, including $1.2 billion going to ExxonMobil that made $11 billion last quarter, I want to give a tax cut of up to $1,000 per working family so that every single family in America that is having a tough time right now can get a little bit of relief. I'll expand the earned income tax credit so that no one working full-time winds up living in poverty. That's what I did in the state Senate in Illinois, bringing Democrats and Republicans together to save more than $100 million for hard-working families. And unlike Senator McCain, I'll make sure the minimum wage rises each year to keep up with the cost of inflation. It'll be $9.50 by 2011, giving 8 million women across the country a well-deserved raise. Unlike Senator McCain, I'll work as a partner with our unions, because we know when it comes to standing up for women's rights in the workplace, our unions are second to none. It's time we start giving them the support they deserve. Unlike Senator McCain, I'll make sure every working woman has a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead, to save, to invest, to build a nest egg and provide a better life for their children. I'll cut the capital gains rate to zero to help women, small business owners grow their business and create jobs. And for nearly 2/3 of working women who have no 401k, I'll provide automatic portable retirement savings accounts that will help them build up their wealth and provide for a secure retirement. So, and by the way, although this isn't specific to women, because women tend to live longer, this affects them more. One of our proposals to change our tax code and give ordinary folks relief, if you're a senior citizen who's making $50,000 a year or less, we don't want you to pay income taxes because you're having a hard enough time dealing with rising costs as it is. So these are real differences in this election. And my policies add up to real relief for working women. Here in Virginia alone, 2 million working women will get a $500 tax cut, 215,000 will receive child care assistance, 200,000 women entrepreneurs won't have to pay any capital gains tax. So we are not, we're not just talking the talk. We want to walk the walk. And by the way, all these proposals are paid for by closing corporate loopholes, ending the war in Iraq, charging polluters for the pollution they're sending in the atmosphere. If we can spend $10 billion in Iraq, we can spend some money right here rebuilding the American middle class. In the end, the conversation we're having isn't just about policies or plans. It's also about our most fundamental values. That when you work hard, you should be able to get paid fairly and retire with some dignity. The value that we rise and fall together, that there are no second-class citizens in the workplace, that both work and family should be part of the American dream. As hard as it is for me to be away from my own family, to be away from my two precious daughters and a wife that I love so much. That's what I think about when I have the chance to tuck them in at night. And yes, I tuck Michelle in too, because she usually goes to bed earlier than I do. How I want my daughters, and all of our daughters, to have no limits on their dreams, no obstacles to their achievement, no opportunities beyond their reach. That's why I'm running for president. I want to make sure you have no obstacles to your dreams. I want to fight for you. I want to listen to you and work with you to create a better America. And that's why I hope all of you join my campaign, because if you're willing to knock on some doors, if you're willing to do a little work for me, then I promise you this: not only are we going to win Virginia, we are going to win this general election. And you and I together, we're going to change the country and change the world. Thank you very much, Fairfax. Thank you.